You have to work hard to become successful, but anyone can work hard. It's passion that'll make you stand out and put your work above everyone else's. I take this quote close to me and I take it to heart because I believe anyone can work hard and become successful, but I believe passion puts a person's work higher and makes you stand out above everyone else's. And this will bring awareness to different problems you want to bring out when you have a passion for it, and you will live to lead. Can we get a slide up? My family lives on a 25-acre, we actually live on 400 acres, and right here is our 25-acre permaculture setup, where we have a 15-swale food forest, which is about 3,500 square metres of planting space and about 1.5 kilometres length of swales. And below the food forest you have an orchard, which we have 660 metres of mound, and we're looking at one of the biggest, if not the biggest setup in Australia. And if this is, we can actually lead permaculture in Australia, and not just here, but the world. So in just our 15 built swales, we have 1,000 canopy and sub-canopy trees. Then that doesn't even count the bushes and shrubs, the herbaceous plants or non-woody plants, your root plants like cassava, which are large starchy roots, or your ground cover like your flowers, which are edible, or your beans. You also have your climbers, which are like vanilla beans, and they climb onto your trees. These layers of our food forest is how most forests actually run. But most forests have different types of climates, and we're replicating that in this. So this all started with an idea I had about 5 years ago, when I went for a bushwalk around the property and I realised, geez, we need some trees instead of packing lunch because it gets heavy to walk around for hours with a bag full of food. So I went home and I asked my dad we should plant trees around the property so we can have that for lunch. And then it expanded to let's plant mini gardens around the property. And from the mini gardens around the property, it expanded even further until we found permaculture. Then we found permaculture and we brought that up and we took the design of permaculture and we built 3 swales, and we found a place to put these swales. And we put them in, and then we built on them. Once we hit the 3 swales, we decided to put 7 swales in. And then we thought we can't go any further. So we because the hill was too steep, but we got a D6R dozer in anyway, and we cleared a lot of hill. And then we put another 8 swales, and now we have a total of 15 swales, and we also put an orchard down the bottom. And boy, am I excited about what the future holds. On our property, we have every nut, fruit or vegetable you could think of, plus more. We have so many wacky fruits I never knew existed, but we have on the property you might find exciting. Like, have you heard of a black sapote that tastes like chocolate pudding? Or even a yellow sapote, it tastes like apricot cheesecakes. How good's that? Even a Djibouti kava, which is like a black grape that grows on the actual trunk of a tree. And it looks like a Christmas tree, but black. It's really interesting. Well, what I'm saying is there's a lot of fruit, and you might never get to try it, but since we're doing this, you might actually have a chance to try it, because a lot of people have told us we can't actually grow a lot of our fruits we have on our property. But slowly we're showing them that they are wrong by putting these plants on the property and successfully starting to grow them and watching them live. We do have some of them dying, but that's expected with every time you plant. And by this, we are living to lead to show people that they can plant what they want. A lot of people may ask, what is permaculture? Well, permaculture is actually a combination of agriculture and permanent. That's where we get the name from, permaculture. And in permaculture, you have 3 main rules you should always follow. These rules are: look after the land, look after the people, and don't overpick produce. If you follow these rules, you're pretty much following agriculture, permaculture rules, which is a permanent and efficient way to go. Now, how we use permaculture in our food forest is very awesome, I like to say, because what we are doing is we are manipulating nature by using its ability to keep forests in perfect balance by, instead of using normal trees, we are replacing these with fruit trees. And these trees will grow up and create their own climates and basically just keep on feeding in. The fruit falls off, it feeds into the ground for nutrients, which leads to better fruit, bigger trees, which leads to abundance, which leads to we can feed animals and plant and birds and everything, and we can also feed the people who can't afford it. Since I'll be so educated in this space of permaculture, I'll be leading tours all over the property. So this is in the upcoming years. These tours will be for kids and adults, and it will be teaching them the importance of permaculture and how they can use it in their life. And the efficient and the permanent way of growing their own produce in permaculture. We all have to give a thank you to the creators of permaculture, Bill Mollison and David Holmgren. They published their first book, Permaculture 1, in 1978, and truly I wouldn't have any of this if it wasn't for permaculture. I don't think we'd be growing anything if it wasn't for permaculture. So at the very start, you probably heard me hear what a 15 swale food forest is. They are actually a elongated type mound. They don't need to be too long, depends how long your swales are, but they're elongated mound that follow contour for us, and basically they fill up with water, and once they hit their maximum holding capacity, they overflow into the next swale, and they keep on doing that right down the hill. And our swales actually fill into our big dam, which is over to your right. Which the goal is to keep water to feed into the swales, and the water will stay there from weeks to months, depends how much in drought you are, and these plants soak the water up and become bigger, and they do not die. This is crucial for our permaculture setup because we don't get much rain out in Girvan. If we can prove this works really well, then they can use this a lot more around the world where they don't have a lot of rain. So we also have a polymer we put in these swales to help with the growth. It is known as agromix. It is a crystal, but when water is added to it, it grows up to 300 times its size and soaks up the water. We put these through the swales so they would grow. They would grow by the water, and then the plant's roots would grow through them. This led to healthy plants that could take as much water as they want out and whenever they want. And one important thing I have to say about our property is we have a really bad soil type known as dacite. Dacite is a soil that comes from volcanic ash from a volcano that erupted thousands of years ago around our area. It has very low in nutrients and very low in nitrogen, which makes it hard for us to grow anything. But we are making it work. What we are doing is we are digging holes for the subcanopy and canopy trees, and then we are putting special soil mix we have put in these holes and planting these trees into them and hoping they grow. But not just that, we have put fertiliser such as blood and bone and dolomite over the swales. We have also added this liquid known as wormweed right over the swales, and this will help the plants grow and also keep them strong with fertilisation and plenty of nutrients. And if we can get this to work, there is an island in the Philippines known as Luzon, which actually has the exact same soil as we do. But the thing is, they don't know how to grow it. And if we are successful with this, we are living to lead these people into creating abundance of food to feed their villages in an ultimate way. It's going to be insane if it works. Okay, can we go? So right here, don't think you don't need don't think you need a lot of land to do permaculture. Right here is Brett Cooper's Newcastle home, and as you can see, he didn't have much area, but he made it work. He put plants everywhere, and even though with the compact space, he grew his own fruit and veg, and he was efficient and permanent with it. But now, can we move to the next? But now it's a bit blurry, that photo, but he bought that land about in 2011 or 10, and he actually has transferred this whole land, and we go to the next one, and to this. This is a 1 acre, fully efficient permaculture setup that is set on Stroud Road, known as limestone permaculture. This setup is so efficient that it can feed up to 50 families from 1 acre. So don't believe you don't need much land to actually grow. If you have a small backyard, if you have an apartment, you can grow vertically. It doesn't matter, you can grow no matter where you're at. And I have led you here today to show you how I'm living to lead, and you can too. Thank you.